Hello everyone, I am Sikandar Abu Rakib. Welcome back to my Laravel basic tutorial. Today I am going to talk about how Laravel handles relationship between two database tables. For doing that, first of all, I am going to start the MySQL database. I'm starting Apache server and MySQL, and I'm going to phpMyAdmin. Here I am using MyDB database for my project, and I'm going to create two tables. One is students with the ID field 10 auto increment, and another field is name worker 100. I'm saving, and this is my table, and I'm going to create another table as subjects, and this table will have one ID field, and another student ID field, will be indexed, and subject name will be worker, and I'm saving it. And now I'm going to students table, and I'll insert some data, and it will be filled automatically. That's why I am not giving any value. And I'm saving it. So two values I inserted. Now I'm going to subjects table, and we'll try to insert some values. It will be filled automatically. I am giving the student ID field as 1 and giving the subject name as math, and for student ID 1 the subject will be physics. Saving it, and also I want to insert another two values for ID 1 or chemistry and history, and also I want to insert for student 2 like biology and English. So if I see the subjects table, so I inserted 4 data for student ID 1 and 2 data for student ID 2. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going back to my project, and I'm opening my project into Visual Studio Code, and this is my project. This is a blank and just fresh new install Laravel project, and here I'm going to start PHP artisan sir. So this is the project that I showed you earlier. Now I'm going to stop the server for a moment, and I'm going to create two models for two tables very quickly. PHP artisan make model student and also subjects, and starting the development server and refresh it and going to my Visual Studio Code editor. Here is the model and here is the model. Now I am going to my web.php file where I am going to write some basic routes for my tables. First of all, I am going to display two tables data. So I am going to copy it and paste it for two times, and one is for students and another is for subjects. And here I am going to write a variable app, and our model name is student, and all method, and for each loop, and here will be students as, and here will be echo student name. Okay, and I'm copying it, and it will be subjects, and I'm copying it, and I'm saving it. So now I will go to the browser and will test these two routes whether it will retrieve the data from the database or not. So I'm refreshing the page and going to my students route. Students not found. Okay, so my model name is not students, it is student, and here it will be subject. Okay, and I'm going back and refresh the page. Okay, and I want to give some HTML tag. So the two students here, these two students is coming here by the model, and if I write here subjects, the 6 data is coming from the subjects table. 6 data is coming. Okay, now I want to show the student name beside each data. For example, math Sikandar Rakib, physics Sikandar Rakib. All the 4 data will show along with their student name. So for doing that, I need to create a variable here within the subject like student, and within that variable I need to call the model student and find method, and here I need to give dollar subject student ID, and here I'm going to write dollar student name has, okay. So as I tried with this route, and within each subject I am checking the student ID of here student ID, and accordingly if ID matches with here, and I am picking up the name from this table. But I can show these things, but it is not the smart way. So I am going to use the smart way by which the Laravel follows the database relationships. So I am going to do it in models. So here I am not going to keep it anymore, so I am remarking it, and instead I am going to make the relationship between two tables by using the model file. So I am going to the subject file, subject.php file, it is the model, and here I am going to write public function and some function name like student, and I'm returning this belongs to, this is Laravel function for making the relationship between two tables. And here within the parenthesis I need to give the model name, and it is good enough for now. So instead of this line I am making the relationship here in the subject model, and let us check 27, okay, yes. So there is no dollar student here anymore, so I need to write subject, within this subject object I am getting the student. So I'm going to refresh, now it is coming. So this is the relationship that Laravel handles. Now I am going to another route about the students route. Here I am retrieving all the students, but if I need to show the subject that any students have. Like if I need to show this, I will give the student ID and all the subject that student will have will show into the page. Then what I'll have to do, I need to make a change into the routes. Student ID that we did before. It is nothing new until this point. So specifically I am finding a record according to the ID value that I will pass through my URL, and at this moment I am not iterating, so I am keeping it off, and it will be a student, and if I change it to the students is coming. Okay, this is not enough. Now I want to show the subject that this student will have. For doing this, I need to do, I'm going to student model, and here I need to write public function subjects and return this has many. This is obviously Laravel function. That means this student has many records into the subject table, and like before I need to give the model name subject. Okay, and I'm going to route file, and here I'm writing has following subjects, and then echo one horizontal line, and then I'm going to iterate students subjects. I'm picking that subjects object as subject that I will get from the student model by the subjects function subject, and then I am writing echo h3 dollar subject name. It should be good enough. Let us save it, and let us go to the browser and refresh the page. So it is showing John Doe has following subjects: biology and English. If I change here as 1, and Sikandar Rakib has following subjects like math, physics, chemistry, and history, which is exactly the same as our database says, database table says. So for subjects belongs to record student ID 1, and 2 subjects belongs to student ID 2. So we are getting exactly same thing. So we are doing here the relationship between two tables into the Laravel models. Here belongs to, and here has many. So I think it is the beginning and the basics of Laravel relationship to handle the database. And I think you can get more information into the Laravel documentation about the relational database, how to handle relational database in Laravel codes. So I hope this tutorial was informative for you. If you have any question, please leave it into the comments. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching and staying with me.